Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to talk about something we all think about, getting older. But what if we've been looking at it all wrong? Let's explore a really profound idea that aging isn't about decline, but about becoming, well, ripe?
So, let's just get right to it. Is growing older a burden or a boon? Be honest with yourself for a second. Does the thought of it fill you with a bit of dread, or is there a sense of anticipation? Well, the perspective we're diving into today argues it should be all about anticipation.
And this is the foundational idea right here. It's so simple but so powerful. Old age isn't some kind of ending. It's the culmination of everything you've been through. Think about it, every joy, every struggle, every lesson learned. It all weaves together into this incredible tapestry of wisdom. It's about shifting our focus from what we think we're losing to everything we've actually gathered.
Okay, so how does this whole journey actually unfold? Well, it starts by facing a truth that can be a little tough to swallow, and that's the natural, gradual detachment from the world around us. Let's take a look at what that really means. So this timeline kind of breaks it down decade by decade. It suggests that maybe around your 60s, that connection to your career starts to fade. Your old colleagues, well, they move on. Then in your 70s, maybe society's recognition isn't what it used to be. By your 80s, even your own family, they're busy with their own lives, and they might have less attention to give. And then by 90, the life cycle's pretty much complete. This is that slow, natural fade of the outside world.
Now, I know what you might be thinking. That sounds kind of depressing, right? But here's the absolute key, the big twist. This isn't supposed to be a tragedy. Not at all. It's presented as just the natural order of life. And accepting this, really leaning into this fading process, is the very first step toward finding a much, much deeper kind of peace.
So, if the external world is falling away, where are we supposed to turn? What's left? The answer, according to this perspective, is to turn inward. And this inner path is all about cultivating two really powerful spiritual ideas: solitude and detachment.
And this is such a crucial distinction to make. On one hand, you've got loneliness, or entoradnum. We all know what that feels like. It's a painful separation, often born from conflict. But on the other hand, you have something totally different: spiritual solitude, or ekantam. This is a chosen state of peace. It means you can be surrounded by people, but your mind, your focus, stays centered. It's aloneness as a strength, not a weakness.
And the second key concept here is vairagya, which basically means detachment. Now, this doesn't mean becoming cold or not caring about people. Not at all. It's about a deep, fundamental understanding that everything in the material world is temporary. The job, the house, the accolades, none of it comes with us. And when you truly get that, it frees you from so much anxiety about losing things.
Okay, so we've got spiritual solitude and detachment. Sounds great, right? But how do you actually do that? It's not like you can just flip a switch. Thankfully, the source material gives us a pretty clear roadmap for how to cultivate this inner path.
And here it is. Think of it as a toolkit for your soul. It suggests things like reading sacred texts, the Bhagavad Gita, the Ramayana, or exploring some really deep philosophy. You can learn from the great masters, people like Ramana Maharshi or Adi Shankaracharya. But really, at its core, all of this is about one thing: starting that personal, internal journey of self-reflection. It's an active, conscious choice you have to make.
And you know what? Here's some really powerful encouragement. It is never too late to start. Sure, maybe starting early is ideal, but this journey inward, you can begin at any age. The perfect time to start is, well, right now.
So what happens when you do this? What's the result of walking this inner path? This is where the real magic happens, the transformation. This is what turns old age into something genuinely beautiful. This is what we're calling the sweetness of ripeness. So let's just ask the question straight up. If you follow this path, if you do the work to cultivate this inner world, what does old age actually feel like? What's the payoff for all this spiritual practice?
And here it is, the core idea, the central metaphor of this whole thing. Old age isn't a fruit that's rotting on the vine. No way. It's a fruit that's perfectly ripe, at its absolute peak, just bursting with sweetness and fragrance. And get this, the source even suggests that this state can be even more enjoyable than youth. How about that?
So what does that sweetness feel like in your day-to-day life? Well, it feels like freedom, complete freedom. When you've really cultivated that detachment we talked about, you're just no longer bothered if the world overlooks you. You don't need that external validation anymore, because your peace, your contentment, it all comes from within. And that profound sense of peace extends to the one thing we all fear the most, right? For a person who's on this path,
death loses its terror. It's not this scary final end. It's just a transition, a simple, gentle step in a much, much bigger journey.
Ultimately, this whole journey leads to the most profound realization of all, a total shift in your identity. You come to know, deep in your bones, that your true self is not this temporary, aging body. You are the eternal soul. And that really leaves us with one final, powerful thought to chew on. What if aging isn't about losing yourself at all? What if it's about, finally, truly, finding yourself?